Hey, hi, it's Zen the Crypto Queen. I have a page on Facebook of that same name, and my Twitter handle is at XRP Crypto Queen. There is also another person apparently calling herself a Crypto Queen that has done a lot of scamming, so I am not her, so please don't mistake me for her. Also, this is not financial advice. I just like to show people what I do, and today we're talking about crypto versus fiat currency. I did another video on it, but I wanted to show you a recent article. I wanted to turn you on to a person that you probably should be following. Not political. He goes with demographic trends, but also talks a bit about currencies and where they're going. Fiat currencies, that is. Okay. So I just wanted to show you this article. And maybe you've been reading it as I've been speaking, okay? Because they are widely misunderstood, cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency versus fiat currency. One day I said that to somebody and they didn't even know what fiat meant. So fiat is US dollar, the euro, the yen, the yuan, etc. Okay, just to set that part straight, in case you did not know what fiat actually meant. So when you're talking about cryptocurrency versus fiat currencies, we're talking about basically what's going to turn into digital assets, which you could call your cryptocurrency that right now. Okay, so, oh, I just said all that right there. Okay, interesting. But crypto is advancing fast, but the question is it fast enough to replace fiat soon? Well, we don't know that, but I agree. It's only a matter of years before it does, and here is why. Okay, so when you're talking about the dollar, the euro, and etc., I don't know if you know about the SWIFT banking system, but years ago, I used to move money from Singapore to the US to pay a mortgage on a home and everything here while I was living there. And it goes through your banking's back office SWIFT system, okay? SWIFT was very slow. So what you're looking for in terms of digital assets, and that is why XRP is one of my favorites, because it provides ODL, on-demand liquidity. So, you know, the transaction security, the high levels of transparency, and of course, blockchain technology, so you can follow the money trail everywhere it goes. And it's a decentralized network. So it's got nothing to do with your government. So, you know, let's get into NFTs another time. So, oh, I like this. Let's take the example of having $1 million. If you have that amount in fiat money, its true value will change if the federal government continues printing money based on fluctuations in inflation. Look at what's happening in the US, okay? So your dollars, you may have a $1 bill or a $100 bill, but it change valuations based on what you can buy with it, basically. Central banks and the people who run them can put more money into circulation, which can raise inflation and make fiat money lose value over time. What I just said. Cryptocurrencies have a limited supply, so there will only ever be so many coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins, which means the value will actually go up as the demand increases, okay? So let's say you have 1 million of imaginary cryptocurrency. I don't care, pick Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, pick whatever you want. Once those are all out in circulation, people who want to invest in that will be willing to pay more for it than what you paid initially as the supply becomes scarce. This makes sense, right? Tokens are part of that same equation, but with one difference. They represent a subset of cryptocurrency used in specific projects like in gaming, etc. Okay, we're not going to get into those kinds of coins. Some of those are definitely going to disappear after certain markets take certain turns. I'm not going to go further into detail on that. We'll talk about it on another video. So here's what I always talk about is the purpose and the functionality, because if it doesn't have function and purpose for years to come, it'll probably go away. Adoption, well, look at, and this one's getting into NFTs, which I said we'll talk about on another video. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this about crypto versus fiat currency, because the more and more adaptability. Now, this has been around since 2009 now, so it's 2022. I mean, the more people learn about them and understand that they're not just a highly volatile market, the better off we'll all be. Now I want to shift you over to Twitter, where I just found this, okay? So meanwhile, Ripple, and if you're not following this case and you don't know a lot about crypto, I get it. Ripple has been in a lawsuit, massive lawsuit with the SEC. Why didn't they pick on Ethereum, by the way? But nonetheless, they're talking about Ripple and XRP. So Ripple continues to build in 55 countries and hundreds of financial institutions, and the great success of on-demand liquidity, ODL, their solution, which now has near global coverage in 22 destination markets, including Mexico, Japan, Australia, South Korea, and the Philippines, and ever evolving, okay? So ODL will replace SWIFT at some point in time. That's just my best guesstimation. Are you going to be in on that? Are you not going to be in on that? Are you still going to say crypto is just a highly volatile market? Will crypto eventually, instead of saying crypto versus fiat, one or the other, one will take over, crypto will take over fiat transactions first, and then we will have digital dollars or digital euros or some other kind of bank-regulated digital assets. But on the powerful side, you know what? Learn about how this will take place and how this is evolving, okay? And one of the people, my go-to person, is Peter Zeihan. If you have not followed this guy, he's not necessarily political, although he'll throw in politics here and there just for background information. I just want to play you one thing that this is a very short video of his, 8 minutes, but if you want to get an overview of how this world works in terms of money, cryptocurrency, mostly fiat currency. He doesn't talk much about cryptocurrency. I think he did in one video. I haven't watched every single one, but he's very up on what he's talking about. I'm just going to play a quick clip for you right now.
The West have dropped the nuclear option and just prevented the Russians from functioning. That would have too many side effects. Instead, the United States is working around the edges, the West is working around the edges, and making the Russians less and less welcome in any sort of economic activity that involves anything beyond their borders, and trying to use reputational risk as a way of inducing countries and companies to not do business with them. So
see how this works? So once you do something to their reputational risk and encourage companies not to do business with them, meaning Russia at the moment, but this is how it works.
You could ship everything in that FedEx envelope and get by with it. But you would then have to ask whether FedEx would want to play, and they don't. And we're seeing this in energy, and we're seeing this in commodities, and we're seeing this in ag, and we're seeing this in finance. Now,
and you're going to see this in terms of how crypto versus fiat, or crypto starts to, I shouldn't say overtake fiat, but starts to blend through back channels. Because I swear to you, when I mention SWIFT to some people, they've never heard of it, and they've probably never shifted money from country to country. And fair enough, not everybody leaves the country and goes to live elsewhere. I just happen to do that and use SWIFT on the regular. Now, had it been, had something in the background like XRPL, that would have been XRP Ledger, and it worked on blockchain back then that's how my money would have been moved. And just as back then I used to look at SWIFT and go, what are they doing with my money for 5 days? This is thousands of dollars. What are they doing with it? Where's it going? Why isn't it in my other bank account quicker? Well, with ODL from something like an XRP Ledger, it would be there within 3 seconds. So boom, there you go. Anyway, let me get back to Peter Zeihan for a second, because I just want you to have a global view of what happens and how the world and the economy and money works. And it's going to be so easy for blockchain technology and cryptocurrency to segue into digital assets, digital dollars, digital euros, etc., and how that'll all work. And XRPL, ledger, will, XRP ledger meaning the network that it works on, will be able to take, let's say, US digital dollars, because basically you're digital. When I was on my online banking and would move US dollars or Singapore dollars into US dollars, basically you're taking a currency, putting it on some kind of network. It was SWIFT at the time. It will be XRPL eventually. That's my best guess, and it's looking that way as soon as I clear up this SEC suit. And it will be converted into the other currency. So let's say I was still living in Singapore and using ODL, it would be into a US bank account in 3 seconds. Okay, let's get back to this though.
This indirect approach to sanctions is not nearly as effective, it's not nearly as quick, it's not nearly as efficient, but it does prevent or at least limit some of the more undesirable side effects. So for example, in energy, the United States could go out and just hijack a tanker carrying Russian crude, and that would set off cavitations throughout the entire system about what is allowed and what is not. And shipping companies then wouldn't want to touch it because you don't want to fall afoul of the U.S. Navy if you're into the job of shipping. And companies that work for foreign countries like, say, India probably would then leave for sure as well, because why would you put out all the risk and all the money if you might not just not get the crude, you might actually lose your vessel too. But that would have that would have implications for the entire shipping system. And they're trying to limit that sort of damage. Now, looking forward here, there is a significant negative outcome of this kind of half-assed approach to sanctions. Because the United...
Okay, I don't want to get too political with what, what Peter Zeihan has to say. I just wanted to give you a heads up on probably the smartest guy out there for getting information about how the world works, how currency works, how money moves, how economies move, the demographics of the coming future, next 5, 10, 20 years. And he sums it up and is very articulate, and I think you should just go subscribe to his channel. I will put it down in the description. And I'm going to wrap it right there because, listen, if you are a brand newbie to cryptocurrencies, I suggest you watch my other videos first, because if you want to get involved in cryptocurrencies, sometimes it's best to have a one-on-one session with me. Let's get you set up on an exchange, a reputable exchange. Let's get that crypto bought and move it onto a ledger, which is an offline wallet. It looks like a flash drive, and then you can buy what they call HODL, hold on for dear life. Anyway, that's one way to invest. There are people who trade. I do not get involved in trading. I have from time to time. I don't like to turn on newbies to that because you can get wrecked fast. So I'm going to wrap it right there. Thanks so much for being with me in another video about crypto versus fiat. Highly suggest you follow this man, Peter Zeihan. You could see, that's Geo now. I didn't subscribe to him. Peter Zeihan's channel is, well, just type in Peter Zeihan and subscribe. And here are some of the China, Russia, Europe, collapse of globalization. What was the first one that I watched that was really amazing? And don't get caught out with this title, but The End of the World is Just Beginning by Peter Zeihan. He does have, you know what? I don't want to give it away. Just watch the video. And if you have any questions other than about crypto versus fiat, although I'm open to those questions, please put them in the comments. If you would like some other video on something specific in the cryptocurrency world, just put it in the comments and let me know, and I will look into it, okay? I don't use every single exchange out there, so I can't answer all questions, but I can look into it and explore it for you and with you, okay? Thanks so much for being with me. Love you all. Chat with you on the next video. Ciao.